And we are on. I just put my cat in the bathroom because she's meowing a lot. She want to go outside, but she don't understand that she hate the rain, so she don't understand her emotion. And it's the perfect episode for her today. She's gonna learn about her emotion. My name is Adrian. I am the host of this program, Iron Mind, the podcast that's gonna blow your mind. Today we will talk about this beautiful topic, emotion. But before we keep on going, remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friend. More we have people on this channel, more I can bring guests. And I have an idea on a few guesses that I can bring here. One of my friends, she's a therapist. She helps a lot of men, women, couples to feel a little bit better in their life. And she's actually a super wise human being. She's incredible. And I hope she would say yes if I bring her into the podcast and obviously talking about emotion, feelings, and everything. So today, the topic of the day is emotion. But before we keep on rolling again, I just want to clarify why I have bruised eyes. I didn't fight. I didn't fight anyone. We are qualified for Torian Pro with my team, and we've done the first team training on Monday. And there is this thing that we call a worm. The worm is, if I can make it simple for people who cannot see, it's basically a very big sausage, 166 kg, that four people need to move. And right now, I just realized it sounds very awkward what I'm saying, but it's basically a long worm that you need to bring from the floor. So you can do some clean and jerk, you can do some lunges, you can do some thrusts, a lot of movement. And I'm guessing if I have a bruise on my eyes, it's probably because I took it in my face at one point without paying attention. So no, I didn't fight. I am not a fighter anymore. I used to, but I am not anymore. I am a emotional control person. I wish. So yeah, today we're going to talk about how to control your emotion. But first of all, I want you to understand that it's very important to know that emotions are normal and everyone feel things like happiness, anger, and sadness in a different way. You can stop your emotion from coming, that's for sure. No one can stop them, but you can control them and react to them, if that makes sense. So do not panic. If you have some emotion, it's totally normal. Is part of your brain, right? I'm going to explain that in the podcast a little bit later on, but emotions are made to help you making a decision, help you to be safe. Emotion's going to help you to be social as well. Emotion's going to help you to understand others people. So emotion is an amazing tool if you know how to control it. And today I'm going to try to help you understand that. I'm going to try to help you understand how to control those emotions without stopping them, because having emotion is very important, guys, in life. I think having good emotion, bad emotion is going to make you involve in your future. Let me drink a little bit of coffee. There is remember, always start the podcast. I haven't done it in a long time because the past few episodes was more about CrossFit, so I was like, there is not a lot of quotes around CrossFit or training. So today is about emotion, and I have a quote from Bruce Lee. Mr. Bruce Lee say, if I read the quote right, the emotion can be the enemy. If you give in to your emotion, you lose yourself. You must be at one with your emotion because the body always follows the mind. True. So incredible. I like this quote, sorry, because I feel like what it says, like, if you can mastering your emotion, if you can control them, and when you are young, you do so many things because of those emotions. You make some wrong choices, you meet the wrong people, and you learn from it. And when you get older, I think you get a bit wiser and you understand those emotions. You don't block them. You're like, nah, fuck, I'm angry. I don't give a shit. Everyone should know that I'm angry. Well, now that I'm a bit older, I'm like, I don't really want people to find out that I'm angry. I want to make them understand that what they've done is wrong, but I don't want to show them that they piss me off on the time. And I'm still struggling with that. When I'm pissed off, and people would know that. People would notice that. They would be, okay, now we pissed off Adrian. And there is two type of people. The people who would keep on going, pissing me off, or there are people who realize they fucked up and they are like, okay, I back up a little bit. But yeah, let's read this quote again from Bruce Lee. Emotion can be the enemy. If you give into your emotion, you lose yourself. You must be at one with your emotion because the body always follows the mind. Thank you, Bruce Lee. That was a beautiful quote. Now, there is a lot of study around emotion. Did you know that there is a base of 27 emotion? I didn't list them all because it's a lot, and I think some of them are really much matching each other and connecting to each other. But there is 27 emotion. If I give you some example, there is the emotion of interest, the nostalgia. You're nostalgic about some stuff. The surprise, for example. But during the day or during your life, you would use six of them quite often, and those one are the most common that human beings deal with during their life. You have the happiness, emotion one. You have the fear, emotion two. You have the anger, emotion three. You have the sadness, emotion four. You have the disgust, emotion five. And you have the surprise, emotion six. So, yeah, if you think about it, all those emotion, we all deal with that once in life. We all have like a moment of like happiness, a moment of sadness, and yeah, I put some description about those emotions. So happiness, a positive emotional state characterized by joy, contentment, and satisfaction. That's the happiness, and yeah, you happiness. You know you when you're happy, you know it. You feel it. You feel it in your gut. You know when I'm really happy about something, I feel like it's like an accomplishment. I feel good. I feel good. It's about a bit about success. You know, last week someone was asking me, or on the Q&A, sorry, someone was asking me, what is the key of success for you? And I was saying, being happy is a big key of success. I don't know if there's a white hair here, guys. Yeah, there's a white hair. Look at that. Sorry. White hair, old man. So yeah, I was saying for me to be successful, I need to be happy. If I'm not happy, I cannot succeed because then I cannot commit. So happiness is that. Sadness, an emotion state characterized by feeling a loss, a disappointment, or a grief. And yeah, we all pretty much lose someone that we care and we love so much. And that hurts so much. It's hard. It's sadness. So you will cry. You would have those type of feeling and emotion pop in. Fear, a fetal response to danger, promoting survival by causing physical reaction, like, for example, increasing your heart rate. Let's say you're getting chased by a tiger, you have all those like body reaction around, you sweat, you panic, you run, you have all of that. You have the anger, a reaction to perceived injustice or obstruction, often leading the sorry, let me repeat that. A reaction to perceived injustice or obstruction, often leading to tension and defensive behavior. Yeah, the anger, sorry, is quite often that. So you can be angry because you feel that's not just, is not the right thing to do, and you get angry about it, or you can an obstruction. Like, let's say, it happened to me quite often when I get those. Like, let's say my desk, for example. This one was actually quite easy. It was a folding one, quite easy to set up. But sometimes you miss a screw somewhere, and that makes you angry because you're like, fuck, I have one screw and I'm done. And you don't have the screw, and that's an obstruction, right? It's like stop you for accomplishing what you wanted to do. So the anger come. The disgust, an emotion, aversion to something, consider it offensive, unhealthy, and immoral. Yeah, if you think about one thing that I am mostly disgust and I hate the most and make me angry, make me, yeah, is people that abuse other people, like can be bullying, can be raping, can be like all those stuff. Like, when I listen to some stuff talking about pedophile or people who've done those stuff in the Epstein file or whatever, I'm getting disgust about the human race. I'm like, how can the human races can do stuff like that to children, human being, or whatnot? That disgust. I'm disgusted about that. Yeah, I don't understand the brain sometimes, human brain. How can you think what you do with a children, a woman, a man, in some cases of abusing, of raping, or murdering? How can you think in your brain? And that's one thing I would like to understand. I would like one day to maybe interview one of those people, pedophile, a murderer, fucking abusive man or woman. I just want to know what they think, why they think that's normal. Like, it's stupid. Is it bad? Is it bad? Then I want to know why they do that, or is it a good thing? I don't know. I don't know. I'm confused. And then you have the surprise, a brief emotional state, positive or negative, in response to unaccepted event, helping to focus on Focus on your attention. So that's some description that we have. But we also have other common human emotions. And the emotions are love, contempt, shame or guilt, anxiety, and stress. The love, often cited in as a fundamental emotion associated with care and attachment. I love this emotion. That's probably one of my best emotions. When you love someone, if I talk about my family, I love my mom, my dad, and my sister to earth. I love them so much. Then just thinking about them make me emotional because I cannot control it. Is when you love someone, when you are willing to do anything as possible for those people, and that's my case with my family. I'm willing to die for them. I don't fear death. I'm willing to die for them because I love them so much. Contempt, feeling that someone or something is worthless or unimportant. That's, yeah, pretty clever description. What do you think, guys? Shame or guilt, social driven emotion related to self reflection or action. Anxiety and stress as sustained form of fear or apprehension, often linked to anticipation of the future. So, yeah, anxiety is quite often connected to your brain trying to figure out what's going to happen in the future, which, let me tell you something, if you don't know that, you cannot predict the future. And if you can, I would like to know what my future is. So, can you tell me I would be very rich? I would do some acting. I would have some children. I would have an amazing life. Can someone who read the future tell me that? Please? Please? I've been waiting for a little bit of time. Every time I drink my coffee on this mug, it makes me happy. That's an emotion. I don't know. This little frog make me happy. Little froggy. Where do come your emotion? Where do you get your emotion? Where your emotion come from a group of connected parts in your brain called the limbic system. Okay, so in your brain you have basically four things that connect and create some emotion. You have the amygdala, help you feel emotion like fear or anger. Okay, the amygdala is like a part in your brain that make you react to any little thing that are not normal, and you would be like, okay, be worried about that. You have the hippocampus, help you remember emotional experiences. You have the hypothalamus, control body reaction to emotion. If I take an example, like your heart rate and you are sweating, that can be the hypothalamus is like connected to the hippocampus. Basically, when you remember those emotions, sometimes your heart rate, when, for example, I have like so many stories where I am angry in the past, and when I think about those stuff, my heart rate start to race again because I'm like, make me a bit angry. Or for example, when I'm like thinking about my uncle who committed suicide, I have all those emotions, my heart rate start beating very fast. I feel like a little bit like numb. Plenty of those emotions are connected. And you have to finish, the limbic cortex help you understand and respond to emotion. So if I repeat, the amygdala help you feel emotion like fear or anger. The hippocampus help you remember emotional experiences. The hypothalamus control body reaction to emotion. And the limbic cortex help you understand and respond to emotion. If I make it simple, these brain parts work together to help you feel, remember, and react to an emotion. Hope that makes sense. So like those four things work together to make you feel those emotions, and you can work with them to control as well your emotion. We have three main parts on the emotion. Okay, we have the subjective, how you feel. I feel happy, I feel sad, I feel scared. So the subjective is how you will feel. The psychological is how your body reacts. Faster heart rate, the sweating part, sweaty palm hand, your thought, a lot of thought gonna come. And the expressive one, how you act and show it. So basically, subjective is how you feel them, how you feel those emotions. The psychological is how your body react to it, and the expressive is how you act and show it to others. Like you're gonna smile, you're gonna cry, you're gonna show it. If we make it simple, emotion are about how you feel, how your body change, and how you show it. And everyone react differently to certain emotion. There is people who, for example, if they are angry, they rather go away and not go into the conflict. And that's one thing I notice a lot with Kiwi people, or people coming from an English culture. They don't really like the conflict too much. They will avoid it, which European people like me, like European, like Latin, I would say, we go straight away to it. And it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing, because sometimes you do stuff because you cannot control your emotion, and then you regret it instantly. Instantly, you do stuff and you're like, "What the fuck I've done? I should have think about it before." Uh, what can your emotion do? Your emotion can do a lot of things. They can motivate you to act. Let's say you have an exam, you have this emotion, this anxiety of performance, you want to perform well at your exam. What you're going to do, you're going to work way harder to perform better. So the emotion can help you to can motivate you, sorry, and act. Like, as I say, you have an exam, instead of like keeping of being anxious and not studying your topic, well, you're going to study it so much, then when you're going to be in front of those people, you're going to be a bulletproof guy. You're going to say everything is going to be clear, and you're going to be a perfect example, and you're going to be happy. The happiness would happen from that. So it can help you to act. The emotion can also help you avoiding the danger. Let's say you are doing some how do you call that, some hiking, and you have to go towards that way, but you know that towards that way the footpath is super super small. Well, you are conscious of it, and instead of like going full send and not thinking about it, you are aware of the danger. So all those emotion, they would you would avoid the danger. You would say, okay, I touched this rock, it was a bit slippery, maybe I should put my foot on another one. So those emotions can help you avoid the danger of life in general. They can also help you making a big decision, and it can be coming from making your breakfast, or the vote you're gonna do for your politic party, right? Your emotion can be making you a decision of, if you are angry and you don't want to socialize, that's something you're going to do. You don't want to, let's say you have a party, but you're so angry and not happy, you decide not to go. So you make the decision not to go because you know that you won't deal well with other people. And it can also make people understand you a little bit better. When people know how you act, how you react, they they accept it and go with you and help you, or they are like, okay, that's not my kind of person, I need to move on from him, it's a bad trait or whatever. If I take me as an example, quite often when I do a workout, I'm quite intense because I want to do so good. And if, for example, I don't do really good, I have this emotion of like anger, embarrassment, and shame. All that together, there is my friend who would know, okay, give Adrian some space. Give 5 minutes of Adrian, of his own space. He's going to be angry for 5 minutes. He's going to be ashamed or whatnot. So let him calm down. And then there is others who don't know, who would come to me and say, bro, you still, no. The best way to deal with me is to leave me alone for a little bit. I would calm myself down. After 5 minutes of being like beating myself up, I come back to normal life, and I realize that there is worse in life than a fucking CrossFit workout, isn't it? So yeah, people, your friend would be connected to your emotion. If they don't have any connection towards your emotion, quite often it's not a real good friendship. It's more like casual friend, if I can say. Now the question is, a lot of people ask me, can you control your emotion? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Is it easy to control them? I think it's easier when you get older, because I think everything around's getting a little bit more relative. Sorry, you kind of like. I was talking to a client this morning when I was coaching the class, who had a baby, and she was telling me, "Oh, I'm not even near my one rep max there. I'm not even near that. But I don't care as much than I used to before because I have different priority. And it's what I say to her. As I was like, well, I totally understand what you say because I used to be this kind of guy. Oh, I have a shoulders injury, a knees injury. It doesn't matter. I need to push through the pain. Which now I'm like thinking about my future. I'm like, well, what would I look like when I'm gonna be 60 years old? I want to be able, if I have children or grandson or granddaughter, I want to be able to run with them until I fucking die. And your priority changed. So obviously your emotion and your brain is changing. Like all those little things that you were upset before, now you're not. Now you're not. I used to be upset for so many little things, and now I'm like, really, Adrian? I wish you could control your emotion a little bit early on. But yes, you can. You can definitely control your emotion. Do not stop your emotion. Do not. There is a lot of people who say, "Oh, if you listen too much to your emotion, you're not tough enough. Just tough it up a little bit and just go into the wide world." And well, no one really teach you how to control your emotion. So I think by understanding your emotion, by thinking about them and understand why you feel that way when an event happen, why you feel that way when something happen. If you understand that when it's going to happen in the future, you would not react the same. You would be like, oh, I experienced that before. I can control that way. I can do that way. And for me, for example, and you know that because you've been listening to this podcast, right? You've been listening to Iron Man for a long time. I have some anger issue, and I know that my Bailey, my ex partner, she was like, "I think you're bipolar, man." And I was like, "Bipolar? Why you say that?" She was like, "Well, you can be so happy and suddenly you can be so angry." And when she said that to me, it kind of like hurt me. I was like, "I'm not bipolar. I think I don't know why you say that." And now I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, she's probably right. Like, but I'm trying to work on it. And that's why I start this podcast. I want to be a better human being. I want to be a better person, better version of myself. I want to control my fucking emotion. I don't want to stop them. I don't want to avoid my emotion. I want to feel them and I want to understand them and I want to control them. Now there is plenty of way to control it, but if I give you few step here, how to control them, there is a lot of way to do it. The first one is a deep breathe in. By breathing in, by holding your breath, by controlling your breath, your heart rate would start coming down and you're gonna less panic, because quite often we react to emotion because we panic, right? It's a panic mode. Someone hurts your feeling, you panic and you start blaming yourself. No, 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 no. But if okay, just sit down. This person hurt my feelings. Now I need to understand, why am I feeling that way for this person? Da, 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 da. Why am I so sad when this person hurt me? Because what can I do to move on? Not move on anyways. Like, what can I do for me to not feel that? And in the future, if I have another relationship or if I have another friendship, how can I avoid going back to the same emotion of depression, heartbroken, sadness, anything? How can I avoid that? And by understanding all those stuff, by breathing, by calming your heart rate, you can understand. You can, like, before reacting. So that's a step number 2. Pause, breathe, and think about what you're gonna say. I used to be like, don't think about what you say it straight away. Yes is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because you're gonna say stuff that you're gonna regret instantly. So now I'm trying to do that when I'm getting pissed off about something. I'm trying to breathe in, breathe out, calm my heart rate, think about what I'm going to say. Is that going to be a smart way? No. Is that going to hurt the person? Probably. Maybe don't say it that way. Say it that way. I try to be a bit more aware of others people's feelings as well, because sometimes in the past I say stuff to others people and I'm like, man, that's not good. You should have not said that. That's going to hurt this person too much. So yeah, the third one is to name your emotion. Say to yourself, okay, I'm feeling angry. This would potentially help you understand what you're feeling and make it a bit easier to handle. Like, when you know you're angry, instead of like avoiding and ignoring the anger, just tell to yourself, okay, now, right now, I feel the anger. And that's going to make you acknowledge that and be like, okay, what can I do? Okay, a deep breath. Think about what you're going to say. And, like that's going to make you progress. So, step one, breathing. Step two, it would be to pause and think about what you're going to say or think about what's going on. And step three is to name your emotion, what's going to happen. So, or you can reverse. You can name your emotion, breathe, and then think about what you're going to say. So yeah, how to control your emotion is not easy to do it. It's not easy, but it will come with experiences. So my advice to you guys is, if you have some emotion and you're afraid of them, understand them, acknowledge them, learn from your past experiences, and you'll see, like, you would be a master of controlling your emotion. I try really hard, for me, for example, with my anger, but I've been used to react really fast to everything what's happening around me. I used to, like, if something hurt me, I need to hurt the other person, which now I'm not like that anymore. I'm like, you hurt me, okay, cool, good on you. I won't go in the same path than you. I would not hurt you. I would just make sure I understand what's going on for me, which is a bit selfish, and then we can deal with what's going on. Yeah. So that was the emotion. I hope it makes a little bit more sense. I hope you like this one. I like talking about that because emotion is such a good thing. So remember, if I do kind of like a reminder of what we talked, there is 27 emotion. We use mostly 6 of them, which is happiness, sadness, fear, anger, disgust, surprise. But you'll also have some other one that are a little bit more common: the love, the contempt, the shame, the guilt, anxiety, and stress. There is different way why we have those emotions is a group of connected parts in your brain called the limbic system. There is the amygdala, help you feel your emotion like fear or anger. The hippocampus help you remember emotional experiences. The hypothalamus control your body reaction to emotion like your heart rate or the sweating part. And there is the limbic cortex, help you understand and respond to your emotion. We have on the emotion, have 3 main parts. The main part are subjective, how I feel. We have the psychological, how your body react, and we have the expressive, how you act and show it. What can your emotion make you do? They can make you commit stuff, being committed and act on something, being motivated to achieve something. They can make you avoid any danger. They can also make you make decision and make you understand by other people, or you can understand other people with the emotion. Can we control the emotion? Yes, we can control them by naming the emotion you are facing at the moment, breathing, calming yourself up, and thinking about how you're going to deal with it. By doing those 3 things, I promise you will be able to control those emotions. I hope this episode help you understand a little bit more why you have those feeling and emotion coming in and how to control them. My next episode is going to be an interesting one. I think is a very common one in 2026. Is basically porn addiction. What the damage of porn? I think there is a lot of damage of porn. You don't really realize when you do it. You like, is a relief. It feels good. I don't do anything bad. I'm just going on a website. I'm doing my little thing. He lasts 1 minute or he lasts 30 seconds. Depends how performant you are. But I think porn is something, and in my case, I think I have an addiction to porn, and I think understanding how to stop it, and it's not just for me. I'm pretty sure there is a lot of people who deal with that, and they don't think it's an addiction until you realize then there is a lot of connection here, a lot of like bad thing toward porn. There is rarely some good thing about porn, and you're gonna see in the next episode. It's actually quite interesting. So if you guys are interested to know what my thought about porn, the damage of your addiction, because it's an addiction, if you want to be better with it, if you want to avoid it, don't forget to subscribe, like and share with your friend. You don't have to like and share it with your friend, but subscribe. You have a little bell here where you can potentially remind me this episode. That was episode number 12. Already 12 weeks of doing Iron Mind. It's It feels so good to have something to do, other than just my normal routine. Having to go on the website and read some article, and it make me feel smart. It make me feel, when now I start having conversation with other people, I'm starting to understand a little bit more people, and that feels good. You don't feel as dumb than you think. You feel like, okay, I can understand why this person have this emotion. I can understand why this person deals. It's such an advantage to control your mind. It's incredible. It's an incredible tool. I think people didn't really teach us that much. No one really teaches us how to control our mind, how to deal with the wide world. And I think Iron Mind can help you. So don't forget, guys, what Bruce Lee say. That's a beautiful quote. Bruce Lee say, emotion can be the enemy. If you give in to your emotion, you lose yourself. You must be at one with your emotion, because the body always follows the mind. And as I always finish this podcast, build your mind, grow your life. That's the key of success for your life. If you build your mind, you grow your life 100,000%. It was my pleasure again to be behind this mic. I hope you like this episode, and I see you on episode number 12. Have a great, great day or night, whatever you do right now. I hope you will come back for the next one, and I wish you all the best. Cheers.